Hey guys, Caitlin here. Welcome to my fourth video, number 4, in my 8-week series of bringing awareness about Polycystic Ovarian Syndrome. And if you're not aware, Polycystic Ovarian Syndrome Awareness Month is September. So yay! Round of applause for September. It's here. So, if you haven't seen my first 3 videos, what I'll be doing is I'll be walking the next 8 weeks, it's been a long week, the next 8 weeks and showing and telling you guys 8 things that PCOS has taught me over the last few years. Okay, so the first video that I did, I spoke more about the power of someone's story and how it can influence and impact someone else in a dramatic, huge, extraordinary way, and how important it is that we share our stories. We have a responsibility to share with the world our stories because we can empower other people to share their stories too. And the second video, I talked more about self-confidence and how much I've grown in that area and how there are still days that I struggle with that, and I talked more about that and where I'm at right now. The third week, if you remember, I don't even know if I do right now, I talked more about research. So I talked about how important it is that we research ourselves and for our own goods, and how we can't rely on other people to tell us what is going on with us because we know ourselves the most, and we should take up responsibility and research and try to self-diagnose. I know it can be scary. I know a lot of people say that they get anxiety from doing that, but what I have found is when I research everything and when I'm researching the foods that I need to put into my body to help my body the best way, I've had long-term impact from that. And just do your research and don't rely on anyone else to tell you anything different. Okay, so this week I am going to talk about Polycystic Ovarian Syndrome, obviously, and how that it is okay to struggle. So, I know that you guys have heard a lot about my story and how the first few years when I was diagnosed with Polycystic Ovarian Syndrome, I was in denial and I didn't want to research it and I didn't want to find out what was going on because I didn't care. Well, I said I didn't care at the time, but I was always wondering about, what is really wrong with me? Why do I feel so tired all the time? And why do I have such bad acne? Like, why does this food make me feel like poop all the time? I don't understand. And I was in denial for quite a while until I finally took a stance and said, no, I need to figure this out. And what I love about this first week of September is Polycystic Ovarian Awareness Month, and how I am in this group. It's called I Am Greater Than Polycystic Ovarian Syndrome, and it has opened up my eyes in so many different ways, and I get so excited when I hear about other women coming clean about their stories and their struggles and how they're overcoming it and how they're not overcoming it and how they need help. And that's why we're there as a support group, to reach out to one another and say, hey, I have been there, hear my story, and I hope you can learn from something. And that goes back to what I was talking about, empowering people with your own story. And this week has been so amazing. I've heard so many different stories, and I am so inspired even more to tell my own. And I am so humbled. There have been ladies that have said, I have waited for 3 years and only 2 people in my life know about what I'm going through, and it is so difficult, and how can I overcome this? And it's overwhelming, but an excited overwhelming. And I want you guys to be reminded that it is okay to struggle. Just a few days ago, I'll tell you this real fast. Just a few days ago, I was working out and I became so frustrated because, one, I was sweating like crazy, which, is normally the case, but this was way more than normal. And this is what happens before, you know, I start having my period and all that great stuff. But lately what has been happening is I've been having all of the symptoms of starting my period, but it doesn't come. And that's been going on the last 2 months, and I have become so frustrated because I get all of the major cravings, you know, like any other woman, how she gets before she starts her period. And then my workout was absolutely terrible, and then I just got up and I quit. And I ran to the bathroom because I was talking down to myself so negatively, and I didn't know how to bounce back from it. And I broke down, and some of the thoughts that were going through my mind, you know, Caitlin, what is the point in working out? It's so hard for me to lose weight. There's no point. I'm not going to see a difference. I haven't seen a difference in 2 months. No inches, no pounds, nothing. And so I became so frustrated with myself and saying, you know, why am I even doing this? There's no point. Like, why? You know? And so there are days, I have my days just like everybody else does, but you know what makes us so powerful is when we are able to overcome those thoughts and replace them with positive thoughts and bounce back and keep fighting and keep going, because the fight is worth it, and God has given us this He has allowed this struggle for a specific reason, and I believe it is to empower other women. And so that's just a little bit of what I was going to talk about this week. I know it's not much, but I hope you tune in for my 5th video, and I'm really excited. I'm sure you'll be seeing more posts about Polycystic Ovarian Syndrome, because I am super pumped that September is here, and we are spreading the word, and we are warriors, and we are fighting until the end. Okay, well, I hope you have a great evening. Bye.